at the end of my work week, you know what I want more than anything?
A cold one?
I want the claws, buddy. I want the claws. There ain't no laws when I'm on the claws. And for anyone who doesn't know, we have the LCBO strike going on right now. Oh, my claws have been trimmed.
Jumps down and slides down the hill. I see shots going above his head.
So she's like, oh, great, on her one day off, you're trying to romance this Pan Am chick. I'm like, honey, it's V, it's not me. Come on.
Brought back some old Catholic school memories, did it?
Oh, man, yeah, you just... Okay, you know the DMV slaw?
I know you're going with this.
Yeah, this guy.
You're listening to On the Rewind.
Okay, and welcome back to On the Rewind, here on Amherst Island Radio 101.3 FM, and we are also streaming on pretty much every podcast platform that is out there. Just want to give a quick apology. We missed last week's episode due to some technical issues, but we are back and we are rolling today. Derek, how you been? Haven't talked to you in a bit. Let's hear a little rewind of your past couple weeks here.
Got my welding gig kind of back as of today, actually. The other welder there was terminated, not Terminator. Oh God,
I don't know which one is worse.
I don't know, but Skynet is not going to use me as their AI voice of the man I stutter. I'll tell you that much.
Actually, I think it'd be much more terrifying if Terminator has stutter. But all right, so it got terminated. That kind of sucks.
Yeah. Don't get into it too much. I kind of saw it kind of coming though. Spent a little bit too much time on the phone.
Oh, okay. So it actually was legit reasons, because you've kind of been back and forth on like some of them are legit, some of them not so much.
Yeah. Well,
That's
new management too, so that's there's no good faith that you have with the current management. You gotta put your best foot forward.
Yeah, you
It's all
kind
new
of got to
management.
earn it.
Yeah.
That stinks.
Yeah, that's why I made sure I got a reference letter from the old boss before he left.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But all that goodwill I put in somewhere.
Yeah, at least you actually have something physical to bring from it.
But outside of that, I've been watching. So there's two free-to-play games that have been kind of taking the masses by storm. I feel like Helldivers is kind of slowly just burnt out. Like it burned bright for a long time, but now
Much
it's
longer
kind of
than I thought, yeah.
They kept working on it too, but I think after that controversy with the PSN network thing and the demand on that, it never recovered from that.
No, yeah, people kind of just like took a break near there, and
then they just didn't make their way back.
Yeah, they just found a different game.
Yeah, and we found Fallout 76 again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but the two games that have been kind of duking it out for the free-to-play grab is the first Descendant, and the other one is Once Human.
I've seen you playing Once Human a lot.
Yeah, I've also played the first Descent. Now, mind you, the first Descendant, I only got like 2.3 hours in. And Once Human, let me just pull the statistics up here, I have 25.3 hours in.
All right, so I think there's a very clear winner in that one, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, so, first Descendant, it definitely pulls from like the Warframe kind of hierarchy and kind of like character models and all that stuff like that when you go to like class-based thing where each character has a skill set.
Okay.
Now the graphics on it are very pretty. It doesn't really have anything in the way of budget cuts. But it's they definitely know what they're doing and they're marketing towards a certain audience. It's got very let's say provocative skins in it.
Nice. Yeah. All right.
Not up front. You got to earn that.
Damn right.
For $70 or like 200 hours played in game.
I don't know which one's sadder, actually. One you're paying for it, the other one you're putting in your hard-earned time. It's worse.
Okay, that leads into a topic I can't talk on the radio segment.
No worries.
All right, but the Once Human, They kind of got something a little bit like 76 going on, but the theme's a lot different. So you have your open world survival game. You're kind of closer to Ark where you're going out getting ore and stuff like that and chopping down trees, which is like the one thing I think we all want out of 76 is to be able to chop down a tree for wood instead of having to try and find a fallen log.
Oh, well, yeah, especially when you need to do that for certain events. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. But it's got the base building. It's got these things they call deviants, which is these little spirits that you use that are kind of like your super ability.
Okay.
As well as you can pick up deviants that do things around your base. Like, I got these two little guys that they mine for me. I got this dragon that cooks for me. You can also get a cat that I don't know what does because I don't have it yet. And then you got a butterfly that gives you bonus damage to your crits as well as attacks the monster in front of you.
Okay.
And then I just got this one that sends up like Cthulhu tentacles from the ground and starts and slows down enemies and stuff like that, so I can launch my shots easier.
That'd be fine if the cat did it. Kind of like
okay,
that.
That's a perfect segue into something else, but I'm just gonna lean into Once Human just a little bit more.
Yeah.
So they, in a weird way, copy a lot of games, not well, but good enough, because like after you're done your tutorial, which is only like 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, if you mainline the main quest, you now have a motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
To help you traverse. So it's like Fallout 76 plus vehicles. Remove the Fallout apocalypse and replace it with Eldritch horror apocalypse.
Yeah.
It's like horror and chaos, and they blame it on stardust caused this chain reaction, and then weird kind of sci-fi element to it, but it's not like outer spacey sci-fi. It's kind of like the science definitely has a layer of magic to it.
Yeah. Okay.
And so yeah, I've been enjoying that. It scratches a similar itch to 76 while being something different and refreshing. And I just built myself a muscle car, which can actually hold a passenger.
That's dope.
So 25 hours in, I got a muscle car.
Yeah.
And I'm in I'm like level 25-ish. I think the cap's like 60.
Okay, so yeah, you're making good time.
Yeah. And so they do this thing where you have to go around and you clear out these strongholds and stuff like that. There's a lot that in the world, and then it's also very open, and it's more open because you know how in 76 your building restrictions, you're like, all right, now I got to go a kilometer away from you.
Yeah.
You get this perfect zone, like square plot, wherever you place it, and it's very easy to move too. But like you could easily pop down your house, like as a neighbor would be down the street from me.
Yeah,
and stuff like that if you wanted to.
Yeah.
They have They have 3 group systems technically. One, it's your party, your team. You know, you're 4 people. You're locked in. You're buddy. You're doing stuff together. You have your hive, which is your core group that you don't have to always be teamed up with, but all their houses are fast travel points. You can use their houses wherever they are on the map.
Okay.
You can help each other to the resources. You can it's your choice whether you open up your storage to them or not. And you can also have private chests as well. So it works that way as well. And then, so aside from that, then you have the war band, which is like your guild. These are like the people who's like, hey, we're going to go PvP or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you can, or all group up to do something like that. And it works as like a second friends list of people that kind of, you have a common goal, as well as you do things as a guild, as a war band, you have this shop where you donate resources.
Yeah.
And you get this currency that you can use to buy the resources you need that are a little bit trickier to get.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
Yeah. And there's no pay to win mechanic. It's simply cosmetic.
Yeah.
First Descendant has like the Warframe paid to speed up the crafting time.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? That pay for convenience. Whereas Once Human, it's pretty much strictly cosmetic, They have something that's similar to like Fallout First, where you have a tent anyway, which is nice, but you get like an upgraded tent that lets you do all your different crafting stations at that tent for like $3 a month.
That's not bad. It's cheaper than Fallout First.
Yeah, and it's a free to play on top of that, right? So
yeah.
Character customization, it's decent. I can see that's where they're gonna milk out some of their money. You have good choices at the start to begin with, but like they already have hairstyles that you can pick up from the premium shop.
Yeah.
To kind of recustomize your person with.
Okay.
Aesthetic wise, you can go everything from like your wasteland raider, your biker, your leather daddy greaser kind of guy. You got, if you want to lean into that motorcycle guy, whether you're the sporty version or the Harley kind of aesthetic, you can go into that. You got your cowboy look, which you know is definitely up my shtick.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then they also go into like the little bit of like the anime and stuff like that too. They got like they have a borderline onesie that's like a dinosaur thing with like kind of like that digital masks with the LEDs that everyone liked for a while.
Oh yeah, Watch Dogs like style.
And in the trailer, there's someone that's just a straight up bear and like and overalls with like dual batanas.
Ah, there you go.
So there's something for everybody there. Yeah. They do the nice thing to where it's like, this armor's really good, but I don't like how the look of it is. So you can kind of swap out the look of it.
Okay, that's nice.
Or if like, hey, I want to have armor, but I want to be shirtless. There you go.
Yeah, it's like the transmog.
Yeah.
Whatever they call that.
So they pretty much got that in. Depending on the cosmetic, like anything you buy on the cosmetic store, you can use the overlay. Otherwise, you're kind of stuck either wearing it or making it look like you're not wearing it. But it's still something. It's better than nothing, and it's still, you can kind of mix and match to your own thing. And the nice thing is, there's actually benefits. Every single armor set that you equip has a benefit depending on, almost like Monster Hunter. So where it's like, if you have 3 pieces of this gear, you get these different buffs. If you have these 2 pieces from this gear, you have these 2 buffs.
Yeah.
And they have it to where modding weapons is fairly easy. Once you own the attachment, you can put that attachment on every gun that can use that attachment. Multiple guns too.
I like that.
Yeah. So that's very simplified. It's not like I gotta grind for this currency for my new gun's red dot. How you get new weapons is you loot and you find blueprints, and then you eventually craft the blueprint that you keep. And then as you find more blueprints for that particular gun, you can upgrade it. And that's how you kind of can get different tiers. That's how you upgrade from like the green to the blue to the purple to the orange.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they have the make it a +1, make it a +2. You can put more resources into the gun to upgrade it. Now, they have this mechanic that a lot of people hate, but I agree with. So you can loot like god tier guns out of chests, but you can only repair the gear that you've crafted yourself. So if you craft a god tier gun, you can keep repairing it and using it
indefinitely, yeah.
Yeah, but if you loot like a god tier sniper, it's great, use it. But build up your resources. If you like that gun, build up the resources, because if you find the blueprints for it, you can make that exact gun, and then upgrade the blueprint for it. So it kind of gets you, like, lets you without dedicating. Oh, I'm just gonna stick with assault rifles. Oh, I got this gold sniper rifle. Try that out. Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
I can see both sides of that argument. Because I do like the idea of that.
If there's a game you paid for like 76 to where it's a game you've paid for, but free to play, you don't want to jump too far ahead on the progression of a free to play, because what's going to keep you coming back? They need you there for the money. The cosmetic.
They need you there as long as possible. That is fair.
But that's just kind of where I sit with those 2 games. First Descendant, they kind of got like a Destiny world kind of set up.
Yeah.
Where it's like at that instance where you drop in this world, you pop open this quest, and then the enemies populate that area for you to go and do that little thing. Yeah, that's pretty much the loop plus bosses. The boss fights are a little bit more intricate, and you get like a grapple hook thing, kind of like closer to Dying Lights kind of thing, but it actually
Grapple?
pulls you towards it.
Oh, okay. So kind of like Dying Light 1's grapple hook mixed with the physics of
Yeah,
2. Yeah. All
yeah.
right.
So they got that thing, and then like the really big boss fights, you're fighting like these Titan-sized things, which is cool. But the drop rate percentages for what you want are so low. Like they advertised 20%, but someone data mined it and found out it was actually 3%.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
not good.
there's a drop to get your first character, like your second character created or classed.
Yeah.
That there is this guy that's put 200 hours in that hasn't gotten that drop off the first boss yet to complete that quest.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No wonder you stuck with Once Human.
Yeah. Well, even that, when I played First Ascent, like I said, I got 2.3 hours. I got it on the first try.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh, God. That guy's.
Yeah.
See, at this point, I don't even think he'll play after he gets it. I think it's just pure stubbornness.
Yeah. Also, Once Human has fishing, which that's a must require for any free to play or online community base. But I think the biggest thing for me is it's Fallout 76, Eldritch Horror Spin, plus vehicles and a few more conveniences.
Yeah.
At a free price point.
Sorry, all I could think about with the fishing was Far Cry 5. That was some of the best fishing in that game.
My favorite fishing is probably Red Dead 2.
That was good.
Nothing has topped that in my books.
Yeah.
And I only like doing that on controller. PC is terrible.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, no. 100%. I don't know, Far Cry 5 was just fun because you could have Cheeseburger the bear, and he would just be sitting with you. And it's like, are you going to catch a fish, buddy? Yeah, you are. But no, it sounds like pretty cool game. Once Human, definitely.
No,
and it's free to play, so.
Yeah.
It's free to play, so why not check it out?
Yeah. And so you're saying about the black cat earlier, and then the cat in the game, imagine if it did this and that. Have you watched Exploding Kittens on Netflix yet?
No. I think we both own the game, though. Like the card game.
Yeah. We played it for the first time back up north there when we...
Yeah.
On not... was it my 27th birthday we did that on, or was it the year before? The thing is this year, right? That we all went up?
Yeah.
We did like the Bob's Burgers burger thing on the Cinnabon thing, and or not Cinnabon. What? I can't pronounce it right now. Oh god, great podcast material. The square buns.
Yeah, no, Ciabatta. Yeah, it was this year. Yeah, we played Exploding Kittens. But yeah, I saw that on there, and I honestly, you know how Netflix has like mobile games on it now? Yeah. I thought that's what it was.
No, it's a show. Until
this very moment, I just assumed it was another game.
All right, it's half decent. It's got its funny moments, but at the same time, me and the missus sat down and watched it, and by episode 4, we were looking at our phones. But it was also enticing enough for us that once we stopped ADDing onto our phones, we went back and played it from the last point we remembered and kept watching the show.
Okay. All right,
so it has its points where you fall off, but there's something enough there to entice you to keep watching. And overall, funny enough show. I won't go into spoilers since you haven't watched it.
Yeah.
But definitely something we could talk about when you have.
Definitely.
But premise is God's not doing a good enough job. He's kind of just been winging it for the last, or like kind of calling in and screwing the pooch, as it were.
Yeah.
So they decide to turn him into a cat and make him fix this family to remind him what it's like to care about humans.
Oh, I love that.
And then they also, through whatever reasons, Satan's daughter isn't living up to expectations, so they send her as a cat on to raise a little hell.
I like it.
Yeah, so it's a fun enough premise. I actually was walking through Walmart last Saturday here because it was my little cousin's birthday. I do not know what to get a 9-year-old girl.
Nah, that's
birthday.
a hard age.
Yeah. So, but both her older sister and her mom have recently gone back to school for like lab science and tech and stuff like that, being a lab tech and some other science stuff.
Yeah.
And I was looking around. I'm like, oh, I don't know if she's gonna be in this. I was like, is she old enough? Like, has she outgrown this? Has she outgrown that? I don't know. And then I find this dissection kit for like a gelatin salamander, and I'm just like, she's part of the family. There's a part of her that wants to destroy things, and I'm like, it's either good. And she was really into that Disney zombies show, like the high school zombie show. That's all I know about it. And it's like, either she's gonna keep it around as a pet undead salamander because it's see-through and you can see all the bones and organs.
Yeah.
That were made of plastic inside like this gelatin thing. She's like, either it's an undead pet or she's gonna actually dissect this thing. Either way, it's something for her that you do. I grabbed her that.
It was so funny because until you said gelatin salamander, I was like, "Oh, buddy, buddy, what?"
It was like this red Jello looking like substance that was in a plastic container. That's
funny. That's cool.
And then. Yeah, and when I got her to check it out, because I had to leave early before she was going to open up the rest of the gifts.
Yeah.
She took a look at it, and she's like, "Oh, that's cool." And I'm like, "I did a good job."
Yeah, so no, that is actually kind of sick.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we'll be 5 minutes at Walmart. 25 minutes later. I think this will do. Turns out, right guess.
Oh, yeah. Like, Kayla is like the gift idea unless it's like my close group of friends, like our one buddy, his kid's turning 1, have no idea what to get a kid. I know what to get like a 27-year-old dude. It's like, yeah, no, I'm down with that. But like kids anymore, I'm like, I don't know. Just, can I give you Steam money? They're like, ew, Steam money. No, PlayStation money. It's like, okay, cool, whatever.
No, Roblox bucks.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, V-Bucks and stuff like that. Yeah. See, I don't know. So I'm just like,
no, V-Bucks is out of it now. They're all on Roblox now.
I just get tape $20 to a piece of paper and say it's a card. They're not gonna read it anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. But yeah, that was funny, and that actually sounds like a dope gift.
Yeah.
It's cool that you got that at Walmart, actually.
Yeah. Oh, we were at the Kingston one there, so a lot more options there. I don't think that we would have found that in the hometown one.
No.
But that kind of surmises it. That, and when I started Monday, by the end of it, it felt like it was Tuesday. I started Tuesday, and it felt like it was Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like, you just work too hard to the point where it's like, oh, it's got to be the next day by now.
Yeah. Yeah, worksman. Yeah. I get that there, and kind of a nice transition from that at the end of my work week. You know what I want more than anything?
A cold one?
I want the claws, buddy. I want the claws. There ain't no laws when I'm on the claws. And for anyone who doesn't know, we have the LCBO strike going on right now. Oh, my claws have been trimmed. So last Friday, actually, you know what? Cut back to last Thursday night. I'm in bed. Kayla comes up. She goes, I am so sorry to tell you this, which makes me sound like an alcoholic already because you know what the topic is. I'm so sorry to tell you this. LCBO is striking. And I get up. I'm like, when? She goes, midnight. I look and it's like 12:16. I go, no. Oh, God, no. Because, like, I am completely fine not drinking throughout the week. But that Friday night is my night. Oh, it is my night. So anyways, what? Sorry?
I said, I wonder if I still have any more in the trunk for when I prepared for you.
Oh, yeah. No, it's funny, actually. I'm going to do like a vision quest. I'm going to go around to every person's place who do not like White Claws whatsoever. I'm just going to grab all of them. Going to see if my mom probably has one somewhere. I'm going to go to my uncles I haven't seen in a really long time. Just pray to God that they still just like Coors Light. But yeah, I'm getting all the claws. Gonna probably have 50 of them. But So, anyways, yeah, that Friday after I got off of work, I Googled the beer store because they're still open. And I Googled White Claw, and it came up as they had like 140 cases of the 12 pack of White Claw in the morning before I started my shift. I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. I get there at 5 without Googling. I go, hey, do you have White Claw? She goes, we are completely out of White Claw. I'm like, okay, well, it is 5:30 on a Friday. That ain't sitting right. All right, partner. I had a cowboy hat for some reason, but so I'm like, okay, ma'am, what do you have? And she rhymes off every seltzer in the book. The only one I have ever heard of was Neutrals. I remember Neutrals as being one of them. So I go, just give me 12 case of Neutrals. It won't be my claws, but I'll be good. So I'll tell you the mindset I was in when I got them. I was like, this is perfect. This is going to be fine. And I cracked when I had it. I'm like, that tastes really weird, but it's just a different thing. I'm so used to White Claws. That's okay. I did find out later what the problem was, but let's roll with my mindset so far. I had them. I had 6 of the small skinny cans. I usually have 6. Feel pretty good. Go to bed. I woke up Saturday at 8 a.m. I got up almost immediately, puked, did number 2, went straight back to bed, got up around 11, couldn't do it, and then went back to bed till 2 p.m. on that Saturday. And I'm like, also for context, there's a guy at our work who drinks Neutrals nonstop, so until he told me the information I had learned, I thought he was a hero for showing up every day. I was like, dude, you drink Neutrals 24/7. He drinks them at work sometimes. And he is showing up. He is doing his thing. I can't even get up on my day off. I wasn't even planning on doing anything. I was just planning on staying home. Well, I did. I stayed right in one spot. So anyways, I tell him this on Monday. I tell him, what the hell? What are you doing? You're a hero in my mind. Like, where's your medal? Turns out there are 2 versions of Neutral. There is a vodka and soda version, which ya boy jives with. And then there is a malt liquor version, which I have not touched malt liquor. Honestly, I'm just going to say in years, but I would not be surprised if it was ever. Like, I only started drinking like 6 years ago max. So like, yeah, that is my ride. That was my LCBO strike story. Well, actually, and then there was another one, because then the next Friday, the Friday that just passed, God, this puts me in such a bad lighting. I keep with every sentence. I called about 6 stores, private LCBOs, to see if they had some claws for your boy. Almost every single one said no. One place said, yeah, we have 1 case left. And this was at noon. I'm like, I got 5.5 hours left before I'm even remotely close to this place. So I got Kayla to go pick it up. It was like a Boxing Day sale type thing where like she took some beer gut dudes like teddy bear, except like on a Christmas special, Turbo Man. It was a Turbo Man to this guy. He goes, oh, is there anything else you could drink? She goes, I'm sorry, it's actually not for me. He goes, well, you could just tell him that you didn't find it. And she goes, he called ahead. He goes, oh, okay. And like, it was series number 1, which, dang, White Claw drinker, that is not the better series, but it is a series. But yeah, so like, you want to talk about Fallout? We're over here, we're scrapping, we're looting, we're trying to get by with what we got here, man. And I am already sweating over this Friday. I am shivering in my timbers, man. I am done. So that's that's a rewind for you. And then I do want to talk. I originally was going to talk about last week's episode. I was going to talk about Bad Boys 4. I'll give a quick 2-minute summary. It was good. It was a bunch of fat jokes, pretty much, at that one actor's expense. He also has jaundice, so every time it was like a close up of his eyes. Obviously not Will Smith, but you know the other actor.
Yeah.
Marquez, I think. Something. No, Marcus is his name in the TV series, but whatever. He has jaundice, so every time there was a close up, you saw the yellow in the whites of his eyes, and you feel awful because he's a sweetheart. But
Martin Lawrence, by the way.
Thank you. So yeah, Martin Lawrence. It was still like, it was a watchable movie. It pretty much was just. I also watched it in the Belleville Cinema. Don't go to Cineplex. Just don't go to any Cineplex. Don't go to the Belleville one, but don't go to any Cineplex. But
Landmark all the way.
Oh yeah. So pretty much, if you're super into the Bad Boys series, go see it or rent it now probably. But I would not have made that trip out for the movie if I had known how it was gonna be. It was not really. It was just Bad Boys, but hey, we're old and we're fat now.
It's us.
Yeah, exactly. Just like, hey, look at this old photo. Don't I look great? Remember what I did back then? And now
photograph.
Yeah, now it's like 6 malt liquors put your boy out for a day. Apparently, I ain't driving no Porsche now, taking down gun dealers. So yeah, now that has been encapsulated by the movie that my partner and I went to go see this weekend, which was Long Legs. It is a horror movie that just released, was touted as one of the best horror movies coming out so far. Kind of close to a Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal type style movie. Quick behind the scenes, Derek, do you want to see it? Can I give any spoilers?
You can give spoilers.
All right, cool. All right. So spoiler warning, obviously, for anyone. I already checked with him. He's good. He's okay. Pretty much, it is so close to being perfect. I really enjoy non-supernatural horror because to me that obviously it scares me more. I'm like, okay, if this is an actual killer here, then that's something I actually have to worry about in my day-to-day life. Ghosts and stuff like that, I check out a bit. I still find them interesting, but like I kind of check out for the most part.
Yeah.
So pretty much the story is there is this killer that's been killing for 30 years in a super weird pattern, leaves I forget what the bombers, Unabomber style notes at each killing, and pretty much you're trying to figure out, the FBI is trying to figure out, what can we use here to kind of like correlate everything together to maybe predict the next kill. And the big thing that happens is Long Legs leaves his signature and a note, but that is the only way they can tell that he was ever there, because it is the father usually, it is the father that is always killing his entire family and then himself. So you're like, okay, so what's going on there? And me still hoping to God it was a physical thing with a real human being. I was like, okay, cool. So this is some really cool crime stuff, and we're gonna go Sherlock Holmes on this. So just for probably something that's gonna rope a lot of people in, Long Legs is Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Nick Cage is Long Legs. The makeup this man went through, crazy makeup. He looks completely different from it. He does have a few times where he starts screaming where you're like, oh, that's obviously Nicolas Cage and no one else. But I do have to say, if it was just him, beautiful. Turns out, obviously, there's this whole satanic thing that's going on with these dolls, that the dolls go in and they control the husbands to kill and stuff like that. And pretty much at the very last, which I'm having a problem with a lot of movies doing this, at the last 10 minutes, they just throw the whole thing at you. And it's like all those subtle clues we gave you, all red herrings. Not one of them was like an actual clue, or maybe it was one line at the very start of the movie. All the clues that you're like, as a listener or watcher, you're like putting together for yourself, they always erase it nowadays. They always just say, nope, it's this. Are you surprised? And then they spank you and let you go out of the theater. Pretty much, that's Longlegs in a gist of it. Still really good as a thriller. I would not say as a horror. The biggest plus of it in my side of the books, and I think that even someone who is not super into film can say, is the shot selection and the composure and composition of every single shot is beautiful. They have balanced every single shot beautifully. And like, if you just open up a textbook on shot composition, like they almost go down the list with every shot and then start back up at the top. And yeah, stunning film that way. Story needs some tweaking, but I would say definitely go see it. That's my little movie review for Longlegs. Definitely see it in theaters too. That would not have been one I would want to see at home. Bad Boys, see at home. Definitely lazy, rainy day, or too much malt liquor day. Watch Bad Boy 4s at home. You're good there.
Yeah. Nick Cage has been busy though these last few years. Like,
oh my God,
so he's in Longlegs. He's also in Arcadian that same year. I just watched Renfield. Now that's a movie to watch at home. I don't think that'd be a theater.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fun one too.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent was like 2022. He was in The Pig 2021.
Do you know what that one is? The Unbearable Weight of Talent?
I haven't seen it yet.
He plays himself.
Well, that's
it's
fun.
Nick Cage playing Nick Cage. Amazing. Derek and audience, watch it. It's awesome. Continue. Sorry.
Also, he was in a third one for 2024, The Surfer.
I didn't even, not even close on my radar. Okay.
Let's see. Trailers came out May 16th. Release May 18th. Initial release.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Didn't even know that was a thing.
But yeah.
Oh, on the same movie trail, the movie ad for trailer for Trap. Have you seen that?
No.
Okay, so pretty much I hate that I saw the second version of it. First version of the trailer, much better. But second version, pretty much it is a dad with his daughter going to, let's just call her Taylor Swift, going to a Taylor Swift concert with his daughter. It's awesome. It's great. They're having a good time. Dad goes outside to get some popcorn and stuff like that, and he notices that the whole entire theater is surrounded by police. Just everywhere. Every single door. They're not letting anyone out. Goes up to one of the concession stand workers and he goes, "Hey, what's up with all this?" And the concession stand worker goes, "Hey, yo, you know that butcher guy? It's like the murder? Yeah, the guy that's chopping people up. Well, apparently the police have a tip that he's going to be here. So they're not letting anyone leave and they're going to catch him here." And then, see, that's where the first trailer ends. And you're just like, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Okay.
Then the dad goes, "Oh, okay." And he goes into a corner, pulls out his phone, and it's a basement camera with a guy tied up and bloody and screaming. He's the butcher.
Oh.
Yeah, this lovely dad that the first 2 minutes of this trailer is like, this dad's awesome. He's going to Taylor Swift. He's not really into it, but he's doing it for his daughter that he loves so much. The butcher. Yeah. And then pretty much it's just action shots after that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me movies.
I hope so, because it is crazy. And the whole time it's just like, he's a perfect father. So, It is also an M. Night Shyamalan movie, so there is probably a twist there somewhere, but I kind of hate that I understand that that sold it probably for a lot of people. That's like, no way, the dad's the butcher. But how crazy would it have been to not know that going in, just all the action shots, and then see that? You'd be like, okay, that's pretty awesome. So that definitely on my list. I'm going to the theater a lot ever since Kayla quit a movie theater and used to give us free passes all the time. Now I'm paying for them for some weird reason, but definitely going to the theater.
She's not actively working there, so it's not the I'm going back to work.
Yeah. We have cool arcade games at work. I would never go in on my free day and play them. Yeah. I can't. Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of my whole movie rant all wrapped into one. You got some I've seen, some that are out right now, some you can rent, and some to look out for.
Yeah. And have you been keeping up with The Boys season 4?
I have not. Do not spoil a damn thing. I am waiting until it is all out. I won't even know till it's all out till you tell me it's all out. I'm not looking at it. I can't.
Just came out with episode 6, and it's a Spider-Man parody.
Awesome. Oh, it's
that's all I'm gonna give you. Like, I'll tell you the superhero parody, and then I'm gonna leave it.
Oh there. Yeah. I have no doubt in my mind it's one of the best seasons so far because that's just kind of how they roll.
I wouldn't call it that.
Really?
Yeah.
Aww.
But Jeffrey Dean Morgan is in it, and I like him a lot.
I am awful with names. What does he play?
Supernatural dad. Negan from Walking Dead.
Oh yeah. Awesome actor. Yeah.
Now that he's got that salt and pepper look going on for him, he's just been playing villain after villain, and he's nailing it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I could see him as such a bad villain.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I feel so bad.
He's a villain for the good guy team.
Yeah. That's funny. There's actually a lot of that in The Boys. Just a villain for the good guys. It's like, no one here is good. We're just all slightly better than the other.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah,
they did something with Frenchie I didn't like, but other than that, it's fine.
I'm really curious to see how they're going to do. It's not Temp V. It's what is the off-brand show?
Generation V.
Generation V. Cannot wait to see what they do with that. Unfortunately, the one guy did pass away in a motorcycle accident, but
oh no.
Yeah, the psychic.
Didn't he get killed off in the show anyway?
Did he actually? I thought, wasn't he? Oh no, never mind. Yeah, he did die. All right, that sucks.
Like sorry to hear him pass, but at the same time, it's like, didn't he pass away in the show too? So I was just like, yeah, it shouldn't really affect it too much. But at the same time, it's like there was that what was it? What was it called? The Riverdale, I think it was, the Netflix show.
Yeah.
Their lead star guy actually fell asleep while driving. Thankfully, he ended up fine. But just some of these stats overwork their people.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's like very notorious. That's why there was strikes and everything, because like the fratter days, or whatever they want to call it, where it just all blends into one and you don't really have a break.
Yeah.
Where they try and use every single moment of it as they can. Yeah.
But kind of jumping back onto you. How's Dead Island 2?
Dead Island 2. All right. So I did officially uninstall Fallout 76. I got about 150 hours into it. Hit it pretty hard. Yeah, I know that is a bittersweet moment for you because you really wanted me to be done with it. Oh, hey, don't you dare give me puppy dog eyes now. You're trying the whole time. I didn't want you to
be done. I've been trying to get you to try other things while having that as something for us to fall back on.
Oh, yeah, no, you were jingling the treat bag every single time, and I had my ears perked. You know you were. So, yeah, I pretty much...
I didn't jingle you onto Dead Island. That was your own choice.
Yeah, but you were trying. You were trying to get me away from 76. Just be like,
I just wanted to play.
new.
You're the one of the few guys I got to. It's like, hey, you want to try this new co-op game that I want to try? It's like, yeah.
It's like either no or yes for months. So you either got one or two. There is no middle ground. I do not have a second gear. It is 6th gear summer, my friend. 6th gear summer. Get t-shirts printed. So yeah, I finished the whole storyline, finished the DLC storyline. Pretty nice. 150 hours into it. Pretty much by the end of it, I was like, I can do a bunch of this stuff, but I am starting to finally feel like I don't want to play this. I'm getting that tingling feeling. I don't want to stale it for me too much.
Yeah, you want to be able to come back to it. Yeah.
Eventually, yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Stepping away, giving myself a little time. And I, as Derek said, purchased Dead Island 2 Steam Summer Sale, 50% off Gold Edition. Gold Edition, not really worth it as per usual, but I digress. Having a lot of fun with it. It's pretty much, if you've played the Dead Island series, it is like Dead Island 1, but instead of how Dead Island was it was a linear story through 3 open world maps. Take that and put the open world maps to like 7. There's 7 open world maps. They are congested more. They are smaller size, but they don't give you a car in this one, so it's not that bad. And it's in Hollywood, LA, very bright and sunny. So a big gripe that everyone had with Dead Island 1 was that the first level was the resort, and everyone loved the resort. It was a lot of fun. It was bright. It was colorful. It got you into it. You were having fun the whole time. It was silly. And then you go into pretty much just like a gray, dead city that has 0 color. And you're like, okay, now I'm just grinding. So this game, all of it is bright and colorful. Even the one sewer scene is still like lime green water. It's still trying to be bright and colorful and like keep you entertained the whole time. So I do like that. The slashers, which are the characters that you can pick, there are 7 of them. Pretty much with my playstyle, I was limited down to 2. Pretty much essentially 1, which was Jacob. Yeah. British guy, rocker guy, and pretty much a DPS character, where the quicker I attack you with small hits, the more my criticals gain, the more damage I do to you. So I'm just a really quick fighter, which is pretty fun. The weapons in it, pretty crazy. They feel like they have a lot of force. It is having a laugh at itself quite a bit, I will say that. And the skill cards, quite similar to 76, where you have cards, certain perk slots that you can use, and you just kind of switch them in and out as you go to kind of go to your play style. Overall, I'd say a pretty good game. I don't know if it's going to keep me entertained enough that after I'm finished the story, I think I'm about a quarter of the way through it. Kind of short game too. That's like through one weekend of not really playing it that much. Already a quarter way through. I'm also used to 76 where I get 3 months out of the thing. But pretty much I'd say hopefully I get entertained enough to go to one of the DLC, which is pretty much Coachella DLC, where it's the Undead Coachella. Kind of want to see that really bad. There's also Hoss, which is pretty much just a cult one, but the Coachella DLC looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Pretty much bashing zombies. I will say the physics with the zombies, if you clock one in the jaw, its jaw does like dangle, and if you clock it again, the jaw falls off. Like there is quite a bit of physics going on there. And environmental kills. Almost solely based around environmental kills. There are like, in Dead Island, you were just like, okay, I'm going to get the biggest weapon and I'll put fire on it. I don't really care about fire, but I'll put fire on it. This one, you are like running and you see a puddle and you're like, okay. and then you see a water jug and you toss the water jug at someone, it creates a stream that connects the puddles, and then they'll start walking towards you, and you throw like an electrocution knife at it, and it just makes the water now electrified, and that damages zombies a lot. So there's a lot of environmental stuff that I think really ups like your factor of feeling like you're surviving more than just you're an unkillable machine. You almost need to like work with what you got and make it work well. Also pretty much makes it so I always have a throwing knife with fire and electricity on it at all times. So I can just toss it and like trigger something to happen. But if I'm in close quarters, I also use it. But yeah, really good game. Zombie variants, there's like 18 of them. So that's kind of crazy. I do like that there are like firefighter zombies that are just impervious to fire. Riot shield ones that were cops in riot gear that you have to like pretty much beat the helmet off of them to get a headshot type stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, pretty good game. Kind of funny story. Sometimes it's like corporate funny, but other times it's actually funny. So I'd say check it out. Definitely.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Dying Light kind of like, even when like Dead Island, like the first one came out, played that, loved it. Then Dying Light came out, and I'm like, parkour, Mirror's Edge, and Dead Island, and I've been spoiled since.
Oh yeah. And especially since the viewpoint and everything is so much like Dying Light, but you only have one jump that is like the smallest little milk crate jump.
Yeah.
You feel weird.
Yeah, it's one of those things of just like, since the first games were so close in graphics, the wires got twisted to where it's like, this is just a better version of that. And then, well, I think Dead Island 2, there's some.
And I'm going to cut you off right there. We're going to go on to our extended edition. Thank you so much for listening to On the Rewind, broadcasting on Amherst Island Radio, 101.3 FM. We are now hopping over to our extended edition on Spotify, Amazon, anywhere you listen. We're going to be there. Thank you so much for listening.
Welcome back to On the Rewind.
Okay, and welcome back to On the Rewind. We're now on to our extended edition. We were just kind of finishing up our Amherst Island radio broadcast on 101.3 FM. And we were just talking about Dying Light, Dead Island. Derek, so sorry to cut you off. You were just kind of talking about Dying Light and all the fun that is.
All right, so I kind of said about how the wires kind of got crossed for me there, because the first versions of both games, editions of both games, I guess would be the best way to put it. Similar fidelity and graphics. But when it comes to Dying Light 2 and Dead Island 2, I kind of got to hand it to Dead Island 2 for the graphics. But
yeah,
Dying Light 2, bigger world, much more open. So it's kind of like the countering. It's like you get a little bit better one way, and then the other one you get some things better, but overall, gameplay wise, I'm probably gonna have to pick Dying Light over Dead Island 2. I did play it through the Game Pass for a little bit.
Yeah,
they're just, I don't know, there's enough to sink my teeth into, but at the same time, there was nothing that felt compelling for me to do it.
I remember actually. Yeah, you said the characters. You had a hard time getting into any of the characters.
Yeah, just the voice acting in general is just like, this one's just a little too cocky. This one it's just a little too much. There was like, the first game had such an array of characters that had like their one-liners that just, you always had one or two that you're like, I could vibe with this.
Yeah, they were like generic, but not. They were just enough that you're like, I can, yeah,
you can self-project a little bit to make up for the whatever. But now, Dead Island 2, I'll give him some kudos there. Most of the characters there have a unique take to it. but almost too unique to where it's like kind of almost imposter syndrome taking one that seems a little fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I will give you that. It is kind of weird going from Fallout where I made my character so unique, so to me, so to what I could put myself into, to, like you said, all the characters are so unique, have their own almost backstory, and like you can just see it on their character model. There is like a life here that you are trying to step into,
Yeah.
and it's kind of because I remember you saying something like that earlier when I was playing. I'm like, I do every once in a while. You kind of get that where you're just like, I am playing Jacob. I'm not playing as myself. It's like this is Jacob's story that I'm just pushing through,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of it's kind of funny just because some people can do that really well if they're just a
Yeah.
casual gamer and stuff like that. But if you like play role playing games a lot,
If you're doing it for escapism to a degree, it's a little trickier. But
very
I think what would actually, because it's the same onboarding regardless, right? You have that intro cutscene about how they all sneak onto the plane.
Yeah.
I think if you picked a character and you actually had to play through that mission of them sneaking on, and that was your tutorial, I think that would integrate you a bit better. It's like, oh, I'm not from around here. I don't have a passport, or I'm not well known enough. I gotta sneak onto this plane.
Yeah, and how would you do it?
Yeah. And stuff like that, or like, okay, let's fight our way to this destination to catch this bus to get over to this thing, so that way I can get in. Or have like one of the easiest ones is just like, okay, I'm driving rapidly, running over zombies. Have a mini game, even if you don't ever drive again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No.
So something to onboard you more than like, because I tried different characters and it was just really the quips that changed, and I'm just like, not feeling it. I'm not finding one kind of funny or the other one here.
Yeah, and apparently every single character was actually written by someone different, which I do appreciate. But yeah, because I tried two different characters. The first one I tried was the male stripper, just because I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Then right as soon as I tried it, I was like, oh, but their fighting styles are way different. So then I actually watched a quick video on like what I wanted to play as was a single-handed weapon guy that's really quick. So then I pretty much was forced to go with Jacob. It's not my worst choice, but yeah, it kind of sucks that you're kind of like, if I choose this guy based on my likes, I might not get to play the game that I want to play.
Yeah, I think the best way they could have, like the actual thing that would have, without any extra development, was pick a character, then pick a play style.
Yeah.
If you want to be the little Irish chick, but you want to use two-handed weapons, by all means, she's a little slugger.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Instead of whatever they gave her, and yeah.
Well, that's just like the one with the blade leg, the running blade.
Yeah.
Where it's like, that's almost what I mean when you see their character model and how they play and how they play, you're kind of like, you're pretty much stepping into the shoes of someone else.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is how I have to play because this is how Annie would play. There's no, how do I want to do it? It's like, no, I have to play this how they would play it.
I think that's kind of the nice thing about Dying Light. It's always been, it's like, hey, you want to be slow and methodical and take out things quietly? Go for it. You want to go in guns blazing? Cool. If you want to loop them in a train doing parkour and finesse your way around and look like we're past the radio segment, like a badass doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, they give you all the tools there. Quite literally the tools. It's pretty sick. But yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more escapism. It's a pretty generic looking dude.
Yeah, even if it's like Aiden storing and you're kind of like, oh man, I wish it was Crane, you can still kind of get past it. And they pay homage with like Spike and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And even like going into like Crane shoes, like from the first game, it's like, okay, cool, I'm a secret agent man blending in, and then your immersion there is just like, oh yeah, I'm just kind of one of the people, I'm a local or a tourist or something like that, I kind of like, oh, you're showing me how to survive. Oh, cool. And as he gets it, you don't typically get attached to it, but like the character's like, oh, I gotta help these people out. Oh, screw the government that I work for in order to get this
Yeah,
thing right, and you end up sticking around for these people.
that is
But
actually that's really that hits a good point with Dead Island 2, where you pretty much yes, there's a tutorial, but in the character's mind, he knows how to do all of it.
yeah,
It's not like, what do I do now? Someone tells you, you learn with your character. It's just, I'm not afraid of zombies. I am going to go pick this up and kill them. It's like,
yeah,
okay, so yeah. Oh, that's funny to think about. Because, yeah, Crane was quite literally, it was like a step by step of how to parkour and everything.
yeah. And then
Huh.
the acclamation for Aiden was just like, okay, I am new to this city.
Yeah, he was quite literally, like you said, a tourist.
Yeah. And so it's like, even though those were characters that had dialogue, some of them even had some good quips from time, but that aside, you're still just, even though that, I don't know, I don't understand what exactly is the difference. I guess what we kind of said before was just, there's a tool set that's available no matter what you do. It's what you pick out of it that's
Yeah.
your options, rather than having a tool set locked behind a character. Some games do that well, like Warframe, First Descendant. That's a new one that's out there. Destiny, but that lets you have some character creation in there too.
Yeah.
When you pick your classes there, it's like, yeah, set thing. There's a way to do it that's appealing. And then there's like League of Legends, that's a character hero selection thing. The other shooter from Valorant from Riot, so like that's also a thing like that there. You have Rainbow Six Siege, that's not the main draw, but when it's a single player experience or like a small co-op thing, either you need something that you can identify with, something that's appealing, whether that's looking at a female, whatever you're attracted to, character model while you're playing, if it's a third person thing, or the self-immersion, or some banger dialogue that you can like, oh yeah, I like this. Like there's that what was it, High on Life or whatever, it's that Xbox exclusive for a while there, that's like, I don't know, it's kind of like a Rick and Morty thing meets first person arcade shooter.
Yeah. It's voiced by Dan Herman, or
Where
whatever the other one is.
I think you're like a silent protagonist, but everything around you is so wacky and zany.
Oh yeah. And they're
Stuff
so
like that.
nondescript in that game. I haven't played it personally. I've watched quite a bit of it. Where like, yeah, they're so nondescript, and they just call you guy and human and stuff like that. You're pretty much, you could just be whoever you want to be.
Yeah. And like the Diablo series for Blizzard, that's done it really well. Like, yeah, up until 4, there wasn't really character customization. There was a couple cases where you could choose a gender, but overall, you're picking like a D&D class, which is its own thing. It's like, okay, yeah, I want to play a fighter. Yeah, I want to play mage. You're choosing your style. It's not so much you're escaping. It's like, okay, I like magic. Let's make numbers go big, do lightning. Or like, oh, the druid, I can be a big bad werewolf.
Yeah.
Right? Like things that are like, cool, right? But when I played Dead Island 2, it's like, all right, it's a zombie thing, so it's got to compare to other zombie games. It's just how the deck's stacked, unless it's like only thing that's came out in the last 2 years that happens to be zombies, which it wasn't. Its competitor was Dying Light, Call of Duty Zombies. There's Killing Floor that's still popular, right? It's a DayZ, Scum, all different
zombies
kinds of
are everywhere.
Yeah, so when you go into it, you either have to, and then there's all these like startup early access things that have failed. It's a very specific niche you got to hit. Your characters have to appeal, your gameplay has to be something people can, I guess, has to be an identifier for it, right? But when you're just hacking and slashing zombies, that could be any game. You could be playing Dead Island 1 and feeling nostalgic, because honestly, Dead Island, the first game, that trailer sold it.
Oh,
that falling through the window, that, oh, they're breaking into the apartment. Oh, God. and stuff like that, and you're on this island that's infested, great. If you're now, you're in Los Angeles, yeah, cool map. But when you're just in another de facto city with some landmarks on a very linear path, limited exploration going through, you're not gonna get too much. Like, you even got games like Dead Rising that their whole unique gimmick is crafting all these zany weapons together, and you have this most annoying quest to constantly get Zombrex for one reason or another, depending on the game. Whether it's the first one to keep yourself alive, or you actually create Zombrex on the first one, and then the second one you have to get it for your daughter. I forget the reason. Third one, fourth one, you need it, etc. Third one was nice because you're immune. That's what I was kind of thinking about. But they every time they've have an evolution of the crafting. There, it's got a huge crafting thing. You want a broom, 2 chainsaws, duct tape, wham bam, thank you, man. Now you're dancing, twirling chainsaws around, massacring a horde. It's got the horde physics to it, right? Whereas, again, I like, even in Dying Light 2, I turned off the health bar for enemies because I didn't want to know. I like that no health bar. I either dismember you real good, or you're a chunky guy that I kind of got to whittle down. You got some thick muscles. That's fine. Dead Island 2 felt like I need to have the health bar on because everything was either too weak or too strong. There was nothing in between, nothing that quite felt right.
No, definitely. Yeah, there's it's funny. I noticed that there's a certain level, because I'm at level 20 right now, but it pretty much felt like level 5 to 15 was everything is a challenge. There's stuff that can kill you instantly, but like everything was like a hacker. Like you're hacking away, and there's nothing you're doing one hits on. I will say now at level 20, you have enough stuff that like pretty much like my go-to combo is running, jump, one leg kick, not the drop kick, and then hit once with a baseball bat and then go down and stomp. Pretty much anything that's not like a super high level I can get at. It comes different when it's a horde and stuff like that, but yeah, there is a weird 10 level gap where I'm like, everything is just knocking my ass down.
Well, kind of to add on to that, it's like, now, would you say that's kind of the meta approach to just kill anything? Like, right? Like you said, all the weak things is just like kick it down, hit it, curb stomp it. It's dealt with. Whereas like some games, it's like, yeah, sometimes you do that, but if you're dealing with like horde or like something that's kind of got like the proper time to kill, it's like, okay, I'm gonna stun this guy, knock this one down. Okay. And you're dealing with multiple targets, you're taking care of them, you're having to juggle all of it, and then you do a couple quick kills, you finish ones off a certain way. That to me is a lot better of an experience rather than it's like, okay, there's 5 zombies, so I'm just gonna run a train, kick, stomp, and then all 5, and you've essentially just leapfrogged your way through a linear track.
Yeah.
Whereas Dying Light 2, you can kind of do that, but there's so many cool things where it's like, okay, stung, now I'm going to flying kick at this guy, chop this thing, use this throwable on that guy. Okay, encounter dealt with. I've dealt with those guys in different ways each time. Or 5 guys different ways.
Yeah, I will say it's usually only one zombie that you can do the whole linear progression through. Because, like, I went at the start, I think in the Amazon Radio edition, the environment does play a lot to it. And like we talk about the whole horde thing, if you run into 3 and you make enough noise, all of a sudden there's 7.
Yeah.
And then it keeps going. So it's one of those things where, like, yeah, if you see a puddle, or if you see, I do like that, like, the pipes on the side of a building that have water in them, you can pretty much hit anywhere on there and water bursts out of them. Or if there's like a gas line,
okay,
that's gas. So I do say that's nice. But pretty much you're looking for like a way to kill quick and like keep progressing. It's still linear, but yeah, I do see where you're coming from. Where like you don't want like a surefire way to do it. You kind of want just like your way of like
Yeah.
you're seeing a puzzle, you're trying to figure it out on the fly, and then new puzzle forms.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I never felt like Dead Island 2 kept me on my toes, aside from, okay, let's go find this little note or clue so I can progress, and there's constantly just, okay, another zombie spawn that's coming down this hallway to keep me busy.
Oh yeah, oh
Right?
yeah. It sucks because
But
there's actual
and
real ones.
yeah. But yes, I don't know. To be fair, to give Dead Island 2 a fair shake, I did not play a whole lot. I probably maybe got like 5 to 6 hours in of it
Oh, okay.
as a whole. So
Oh, one thing I do like to say, I love when games do this. Every single map to every single area is like, it's like a pamphlet from somewhere.
yeah,
It's all completely different. The one is like a realtor brochure. The other one's like one of those cheap star, where did they live brochures. I kind of
okay.
like that. That's always fun when they do that. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, they definitely did things right. Like they did that kind of playful. I cannot give enough credits to, like, if you're running that game on max settings, it does look really good.
Oh, well, yeah. It should after 8, 9, 10 years, however long it
Yeah.
was in development for.
Like I said, it's like graphically, I'll give the award to Dead Island, but for gameplay, it's gotta be Dying Light 2 when it comes to those two. Because
Yeah.
honestly, I always compare those two versus each other because they follow that RPG zombie game,
Oh, yeah.
right? It's the same way where I would compare DayZ to Scum, but not really compare it to anything else.
Yeah.
Right, like they all kind of have like their direct competitor. Yeah, they're all zombie games, but they kind of like, it's niche. Whereas DayZ is closer to like a 76 thing, but more hardcore.
Yeah.
Um,
And Scum's like ultra hardcore. Jeez.
yeah, I enjoyed Scum though, because as long as if you get a gist of what's going on, if you're that's a whole other thing. Okay, I'm not gonna get into Scum. Not right now. That's too long of a thing to unpack. It's too big of a game. I could do a whole episode on that alone.
I will just say, your boy got nicotine poisoning from smoking too many darts. That is too much of an in-depth game.
That's kind of funny. But I will shout out one game right now. It's the Outlast Trials. They just came out with their first expansion after 1.0.
Yeah.
Have you heard what it's called?
I thought you were going to ask me if I have heard of Outlast Trials. Oh, I was going to laugh. No, I have not heard what it's called, buddy.
Okay, so Outlast Trials, Bambino. So it's kind of
being...
Maybe this, they got a completely new map coming out with it. It's kind of like this dockyard. It's a take on New Orleans Mafia Don, Salvatore. I don't know how to pronounce that last one.
Salvatore?
Barbie or something like that. But Bambino was his commonly referred nickname.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's you're dodging the mafia horror style.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, bringing new player abilities, new mini games to get through the puzzles and events. But yeah, no, I'm excited because they only sell the cosmetic parts of it. This expansion thing is going to be completely free. Also, the game is currently on sale. 33% off, so 34 Canadian. I don't know if that translates to American.
$10.
Probably.
Yeah, at this point, it's probably just 5 cents. You know what? Just grab it.
Yeah.
We'll get you back. How about that? If you're in the States, Canada will just pay you back.
Yeah, it'll be part of some new taxes that we have to pay.
Exactly. Don't worry. It's the Outlast tax. It's fine.
Yeah. We'll put right next to the carbon tax.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, oh,
He's yeah.
I just bought 4 liters of gas. Oh, that's a gallon in American. I guess someone gets Outlast trials for free.
Yep. Someone got an email. Do you want it? Not really. Well, they paid for it already, so there you go. You got a game now. It's like,
We can't contribute to NATO, but we can do that for you.
no, yeah. Oh, my good lord.
Okay, that's as far as I'm gonna go on that spectrum.
Yep.
But yeah, we just had the summer sale for Steam. If you've missed out on that one, don't worry. Coming up after that, there'll be the Spooktober kind of sale. All your horror games will go on sale close to Halloween, if not
Cool.
on. And then you'll also probably get the Black Friday after that. And we all know Black Friday turned into a week-long thing, if not like a month-long thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah. A lot of, like, the brick and stuff like that have, like, Black Friday month.
Yeah.
Oh, and Black Friday in summer. They also have that now, too.
Yeah. New releases that's kind of arcadey, kind of zany, and kind of just plays into again, it was like almost kind of like if you want something like High Life, but something a little bit more simple, something that's kind of just a nice time killer. There's Angerfoot. It's by Free Lives, published by Devolver Digital, and it is simply, I don't know what the story purposes is, but you're going through an apartment, kicking out all the drug and slumlords to
Nice.
kicking them, throwing things, shooting things. But yeah, the big thing is it's got a heavy emphasis on kicking and ragdoll physics.
Nice.
Yeah. It's kind of got like almost like a Ninja Turtles meets I don't know, what's a good 3D like, yeah. If you leaned a little bit more into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and you took the graphics from High on Life and then you downgrade the graphics to about medium, that's about where that's about where you're at graphically.
That's gamer math right there if I've ever heard it. I like that.
Yeah, kind of got some shell shade to it a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool.
I think that's all I got for you.
I was gonna say, I do have some more things on pretty much.
Ooh.
Honestly, it's all food. But your boy is starting to sweat in here. His office is not air conditioned. So I'm gonna save the smoking part for later. I will just give out a shout out. They actually don't need this shout out at all. They're doing very, very well for themselves. In Belleville, Ontario, there is the Pizza Zone.
Okay.
Awesome pizza. If you're ever in Belleville, you gotta get Pizza Zone. Brand new shop that just opened up. They are a New York style pizza, and they ferment their crust for 72 hours. And ya boy loves it. It is like, yeah, it is just such, yeah, it's really good pizza. It's one of those places where like the new age places are all about like less is more, where it's just like, yes, this is the jalapeno pepperoni. It's like, oh, what's on that? It's like jalapenos and pepperoni. It's like, oh, okay, all right, the presentation. Yeah, oh yeah. They put honey on everything, so it's pretty much a sweet, savory, spicy thing. So I do like it. The crust is where it's at, though. It's one of those things that like, it's all about the crust. Really good. Nothing like it around. Because Bourbon Street Pizza in Belleville, really, really, really good. But it's one of those like doughy, fluffy crust type things that it is great. But like, pretty much until you hit downtown Kingston at Pizza Monster, you're pretty much, those are your two places to get something that's as close to a New York pizza as I've ever had. Like I've tried like Toronto, New York style pizza, and they never really hit it right. But yeah,
because you're still calling it a pizza, not a pie.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, you gotta say I'm walking here. But yeah, Milwaukee. But yeah. So pretty much that was like kind of my last little thing. Is I just want to say, really great place to eat. I always like kind of finding small, mostly fast food places. And this just kind of kicked me into the little PTSD I have from right before we started this show. I got home, did not want to cook, did not want to even put in a frozen pizza, so I decided to order from DoorDash for the first time in like months. I got Meltwich. Do not go to Meltwich. It's a chain, so there is a chance of you being affected by this disease. Yes, you think that like you think I'd be smart enough now in 27 years to look at a burger where the buns are 2 little grilled cheeses and think that's not for me anymore. What am I? That's not my style. Well, I was really hungry today after work. I tried it. That's probably why I'm sweating. Cause yeah, I'm like going into cardiac arrest over here. That stuff is ugh.
Watch it down some neutral, buddy. You'll be fine.
Oh my good lord. Yeah, honestly, the neutral would kill whatever the hell's happening in my stomach right now. Fuck.
Just super turbo ferment it inside you.
Oh yeah. All of a sudden I'm making the crust. Holy crap. But yeah. Ooh, that was gross. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this week on the Rewind. You all wrapped up?
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear. All right. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of On the Rewind. We are going to be back 2 Thursdays from now on Amherst Island Radio 101.3 FM. We are always streaming on, or are available to stream on Spotify, Amazon, pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts. We're going to be there for you. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Adam.
I'm Derek, and you heard it from him. We're always streaming. Get live, Adam.
Yo, yeah. You do not want to see us stream right now. Oh my god. The t-shirt is moist. All right.
T-shirt? I thought that was just skin.
Oh, it's becoming skin very, very quickly. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Good night.
Thanks for listening to On the Rewind.